There's a Texas Safari Club that this is really bizarre, that is auctioning the chance to kill a rhino to raise money for rhino conservation. This doesn't make any sense to me. It might not make any sense to you. Raw Story says that a Texas hunting group is going to auction off the opportunity to kill a member of the endangered black rhino species, arguing that the money raised will be used to fund conservation efforts. The Dallas Observer reported yesterday that the Dallas Safari Club has obtained permission from both the Namibian government and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Auction to issue this special permit during its January 2014 convention. There's only about 5,000 rhinos still living in the wild. About 1,800 of them are in Namibia. And the Telegraph reported in March that though poaching attacks on the species have become a relative rarity, local officials are wary of a resurgence. This doesn't make sense to me. Now, the executive director, Ben Carter, of the Dallas Club, says that black rhinos tend to have a high mortality rate. Generally speaking, if you have a population of 2,000, harvesting 3 rhinos over a couple or 3 years has no impact on the health of the rhino herd at all. There has to be some element of the killing for fun thing that is related to masculinity. Don't you think, Lewis, similar to driving a huge truck when there's no practical reason why you need a huge truck? I think there has to be a masculinity element to this.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's masculinity or something else. I don't know if I want to get into that aspect of it, but it doesn't surprise me that a bunch of idiots in Texas think this is a good idea. It doesn't surprise me that the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is allowing this to happen. I mean, why do they care? These rhinos aren't under their jurisdiction. But what shocks me is that the Namibian government is allowing this to happen. And
well, there's several African countries, Lewis, that are actually planning to insert microchips into the horns of rhinos to protect them from poachers. What if the Dallas Safari Club auctioned off the opportunity to shoot the tranquilizer guns that are used on the rhino so that then you can microchip their horns? You could have a bunch of hunters who still have the thrill of shooting, and they could still get photos standing next to the rhino. Yes, it'll be passed out rather than dead, but maybe that's a little too much about conservation.
Yeah, who knows? It's shocking that this is being allowed to happen.
We have to kill them, Lewis, to save them. Where else would this apply? Like, imagine if you had a pit bull rescue that was auctioning off the chance to fight pit bulls against each other, and then the money that was raised would go towards preventing underground pit bull fighting rings. I don't think that this logic would fly anywhere. I don't think it should be flying here, but it appears to have been accepted. But I can't think of any other example where it would be valid.
No, actually, I can only think of one example, and that's people. But that's a different story.
Where you have to kill people to save people.
Right.
Yeah, it's amazing that this is the logic that's being used, but it is the Dallas Safari Club. Join us on Facebook, facebook.com/David Pakman Show. Get the membership special, davidpakman.com/shutdown. It's gone in 72 hours. Next, Luke Vargas will join us from Amman, Jordan. First time we're doing this. Next.